Today's going to be a really good episode because we're going to be talking about Google Ads and a little hack in dental that you can save a ton of money if you understand this. And it's a huge cost savings. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know many people that understand this about dental marketing specifically. So you'll enjoy this episode. Make sure you hang in till the end. It's going to be quick, but it's going to be powerful. Stay tuned. Welcome back to another episode of Dental Marketing Go. I'm your host, Gary Bird. I'm the owner of SMC National, where we help offices just like yours level the playing field against the big guys out there so you can grow the way that you want. But you can't grow if you don't understand how competition works in your market. You say, what do you mean, Gary? What do you mean by competition in my market? Well, here's the honest little thing that most people don't realize about Google Ads. Number one, it's a bidding war. It's a bidding war that you're having. It's a literal market that has instant bidding, right? And here's the thing. Everybody is bidding for the same time and the same keywords. So as an example, we will see maybe, let's say in your market, there's 20 dentists that are within 3 miles of you. They're going to be bidding for the same keywords during the same hours, 9 to 5, Monday through Thursday or whatever, over and over and over again. And so what that means is it's more expensive to run ads during certain times of the month and certain times of the day. Now, am I saying not to run ads during 9 to 5? No, of course not. You have to. You have to run ads while you're open. But what most people don't realize is at 5 o'clock, when everybody closes down in your market, almost everybody turns off their ads at that time as well. Why? Because no one's there to answer the phones, understandably. So everybody turns it off, but do the dental calls and dental searches stop? No. In some cases, they actually pick up. They actually get more busy for dental emergencies and things like that. And most people know that their dentist is closed. They call their dentist, they're closed, so then they go on to the next dentist and they try to find somebody. So what that means is you can actually grab patients after hours for relatively cheap. You say, how cheap? Well, it depends on the market, depends, how many people are running for emergency ads and those kind of things. But you can typically run ads after hours for a quarter of the cost, half the cost, even 25% off. It doesn't really matter. Like, every market's going to be different. The percentage is going to be different every single time, but it's still a huge savings. But that's not all. But wait, there's more. So here's the other thing that most people don't realize about Google Ads. In every single market, there's a bunch of dentists that are do-it-yourselfers, right? DIY. And so they're running their own ads, but they have no idea what they're doing. So they go in, they kind of set it up, they set up a campaign. They don't have anything optimized. Like, they're just out here just kind of doing it yourselves, right? Like the people who do their own ortho, right? Do it yourself ortho, or do it yourself veneers and stuff like that, right? So these guys are out here doing their own ads, having no idea what they're doing. So they'll put $500, $1,000, and what do? They do whatever Google tells them to do. So they say, okay, I want to spend $1,000 over the next month, and then in the first week it spends $250, right? And they get nothing from it. So what do? They turn off their ads. And then there's other offices that are also running ads at the beginning of the month, and then they lose a hygienist suddenly, or their schedule gets jammed up for whatever reason. Then they turn off their ads. So typically, you're going to have less competition towards the end of the month than at the beginning of the month. Now, am I saying don't run ads at the beginning of it? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if you pay attention in your market and you understand these things, it will help you reduce your cost of your ads if you're paying attention. Now, the opposite is also true, though. So in some markets, there's big players that are coming in and spending a ton of money and bidding up the cost per click. So if you think of the biggest, some of the biggest DSOs out there, they might be spending $25,000, $30,000 in the first couple months on digital advertising in your little local market. That's a big budget. And what that does is it drives up your clicks cost because they're bidding up the cost. So now you're competing against them. They're gobbling up all the clicks. And so you might have a month where your results drop, but as they reduce their budget, then it creates those opportunities are still there. And it's really important that you understand how supply and demand works. In every market, there's only so much demand, so many people that are searching Google in Google every single day for a dentist, and every month there's only so much supply. There's only so many dentists. So you have to balance those things out. And what most dentists don't realize is the demand is outpacing the supply. So in most markets, there's actually more new patients than there are dentists to help them. You say, no, that's not true. I don't have enough new patients. It doesn't feel like I have enough new patients. It is true. The average time to appointment in dental right now for just to get in and get your teeth clean is 3 weeks out. And that's how most patients come in, is through the hygiene department. So they don't want to wait 3 weeks, but that's the average time to appointment. So what does that tell you? That tells you there's more demand than there is supply. You just have to know how to grab that supply and be able to get them in. And you say, well, where's the disconnect usually? It's usually not on the marketing side. It's usually on answering the phone, converting on the phone, and then scheduling in a reasonable amount of time. The average dentist loses over 80% of their new patients before the patient ever walks through the door. And so you have to understand these market dynamics to be able to grow. And if you don't, if you say, well, it wasn't that way in 2019, I know, it was a different place. Just like the hygiene departments have totally changed since 2019. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's just the market that we're in. So when you start to understand these things and you start to fix some of the root issues that are preventing you from being successful, you will grow. So anyways, hopefully that was helpful. You have a good day. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.